to when you were a young child. Did you have a sensitive caregiver in your life? What did he or she do to make you feel well cared for? How might you define caregiver sensitivity? Early attachment theorists define caregiver sensitivity as the caregiver's ability to be aware of a child's signals and to evaluate and respond to them in a meaningful, accurate, and appropriate way. Children send signals to their caregivers all the time, such as the infant who arches his back and cries when hungry. It's how these signals are responded to that shape the pathways for how the child will in turn react, think, and behave. Caregivers who are sensitive and consistent set a good foundation.
That's another one that's consistency, how you respond to a child when those cues are given. For instance, I have one baby in my classroom that I'll say, that's his hungry cry, that's his tired cry. It's time for him to do this or that, because they're just as expressive as any other age person. And I think sometimes people think because they can't say I'm hungry, I'm tired, that they can truly let you know. But it's really the observation and a lot of information from parents. Before children start here, what we do is we have a sheet of information that parents fill out. And one of the questions is, do they have particular cues that you see at home? And we also spend time talking to parents. Before children start, we ask them to come in and spend time in the classroom prior to starting. And it usually does help the transition in much more easily and build attachments earlier for children. But we spend time talking to the parents and seeing the child with the parent, to see how those cues happening.
The heart of sensitive caregiving is in the emotional bond between the caregiver and the child. Being a sensitive caregiver covers a vast range of skills, behaviors, and understandings. The more time we spend together in happy, interactive experiences, the more affinity we'll have for each other. When children are responded to with affection and support, they're better able to tolerate negative emotions. The negative effect is replaced with a positive effect. Help children identify and express feelings by using reflection, reading stories, and singing songs.
Chilly cold.
Using gestures allows us to communicate with more than just words alone. Offer eye contact, a smile, a reassuring touch. Continual learning keeps us current in child development, research, and best practices, and helps us do our jobs well.
The learning never stops. Every day I learn something new, and I like to be able to walk out the door saying, I learned something new today. That's important to me. But because the longer you do this, the more responsive and the more understanding you become of child's cues. So yes, you have to have your education behind you, but the more experience you get working with infants and toddlers is another way to really help figure out those cues and be responsive to them.
Visit Better Kid Care, www.betterkidcare.psu.edu. We care because you care.